So the best and the worst thing about using Claude may be exactly the same thing. It doesn't flatter me, and depending on the day, it can be incredibly useful or genuinely risky. I've been using ChatGPT for more than 2 years now. It has become part of my life. It has become my thinking partner. It has become my life coach. It's become my best friend. However, recently I started to use Claude more strategically and systematically. In the past month or so, I switched to the paid version. This is not a tutorial. This is the field note of my Claude learning journey. In this video, I'm gonna tell you the best, worst, and most unexpected thing about using Claude. So when you open Claude, it looks like this. You need to download the desktop version for you to be able to use Cowork. Like I'm now on chat and then I'll go to Cowork. I haven't started using code yet. All of these, I'm just scratching the surface. Let's knock something off your list, right? And how do you use it? You can ask to pause, work in a project. You can also always ask how you can best use it. I think it's very good at organizing things, and if you want to, you can always put it in the project. So now I have a project as Lydia CFO, internal finance, have a accounting specific chat here, and all of the progress are just over here. We have talked about the best, it's time for the worst. So the worst about Claude, I think it's exactly the reason why it's the best, which is how confident and how straightforward a poker face Claude can be. We've all been so used to ChatGPT. It gives you the emojis, it gives you, perhaps you can do this, probably you should do that. I think because it's been there for the longest, and we have our self-imposed question mark. Whenever I see something proposed by ChatGPT, I would just always go into the link. But because of how confident Claude is, like really confident, I genuinely do not want to question it. There's more than one time, right? At the beginning, when I first connected to my Gmail account, so I was running this chat. I was like, can you go into my Gmail account and look through what I have missed in the past? I have a specific task for it. So I first connected to my personal Gmail, and it says, oh, fine, I've been going through your email, and these are all the things. I was like, great, thank you. Then I switched to another Gmail account. I was like, oh, I have now switched to my other Gmail account. Can you go through it again? It has done the job, right? It's fine. And then again, I was like, I have switched back to my previous personal Gmail account. Can you go through another practice again? And this time around, it says in a straight face, it was like, oh, I'm not connecting to your other Gmail account. I'm now still on your previous Gmail account. I was like, what are you talking about? I just switched. And then when I say it, it says, oh, yeah, it's completely my fault. I now have the complete picture. Let me pick it up the work. I think this is very dangerous because we have so many things and tabs open, and sometimes we might not remember what exactly we have connected, right? If it's not for the fact that I just switched the connection and configuration, I wouldn't be able to tell whether it's wrong. If I just take it at face value without questioning it, then it can really stall the work of the thing that I'm doing. And the worst part is I wouldn't even know. I would say this is the thing you want to watch out for whenever you're using Claude. I know it's very convincing. It has such a confidence. It's like you're talking to your most confident friend who works in a big tech company. They seem to know everything, and you tend to not question them. But this is exactly the time that you should double check. And there's also the other time I was like, oh, I think I should reach out to these organizations for sponsorship. And Claude was like, yeah, these are all the things that you need to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next wave, you should reach out to these people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To my surprise, it just suggests a name that's attached to that company I want to reach out to. I went to LinkedIn and searched the name, non-existing. I was like, curious, how do you know this name? Claude was like, oh, I'm sorry, this is actually from my previous context. I was like, from what previous context? This non-existing context. So I got very angry. I was like, you should always double check. Like these kind of things, not even ChatGPT nowadays will come up with such a delusional answer. I don't even know why it happened. Maybe because my prompt is not good enough. But hey, this is the way I use chatbots, and that's something to watch out for. The other worst thing is does not always find the workflow. For example, I have this chat to help me manage the outreach campaign that I'm currently doing. And usually I say, oh, you should go to my email and then update my Notion database and then go back to my email again and, check if there's anything. Basically sync all my database, right? So that make sure that I'm not losing track of things. At some point though, it just stopped doing the job. It just starts to summarize, oh, these are the things I see. And these are the things you should possibly do next. And sometimes it just skip the part of going through my emails. I don't know, maybe it's the safety guardrails. And I was like, why don't you go through my Gmail first and then help me the update and then go to Notion? Maybe because I'm so used to use one chatbot like ChatGPT, I assume that Claude nowadays everyone think that is so much better. I don't need to go through this like context and instruction again. I was quite surprised by the result that it generates. And the most unexpected I've actually mentioned is from the cross memory and the connectors. It can get access to all the context without you even notice it. Like whatever patterns from your email, something on top of your mind, because of how confident it is about giving out advice, sometimes it can come up with some quote that's really like, it can touch my soul. It's almost as if you're on a treasure hunt, but you didn't know what you were gonna get. And that's how the impression of Claude that gave it to me. And last but not least, I think how I split to use ChatGPT and Claude, because I was on the 200-pound ChatGPT Pro plan. I'm on the Claude like 20 or 25-pound plan as well. Constantly, I run out of quota. I run out of usage on Claude. So I'm actually thinking I should upgrade Claude and downgrade ChatGPT. But just because the field notes and the experience so far and the mistakes sometimes Claude have, I think I'll wait for another month. Possibly I'll come back and tell you how it's like in the past month and what has been improved, how did I improve my prompt, what is the user experience. But so far, I'm using ChatGPT still as my thinking partner. It has all the context, it has all the threads of me and what I care and how I want to use it. Because I've been using it so long, it's just become part of my team almost to know how I use the chatbot. And I will keep Claude majority focus on the Claude Cowork because it's the superpower of the connectors, the skills, and the cross-reference. My takeaway is, after so long of using ChatGPT and all of these AI tools to help me in all fronts in life, nobody can actually replace ourselves. We should always be vigilant about our own thinking. We should always put on a hat of critical thinking, not to blindly trust any type of result coming from AI chatbot. Because at the end of the day, they should help us rather than replace us. And this is today's video. I hope you find it useful. In this channel, I talk a lot about how I use AI to improve my life and my productivity. I'll pretty much want to hear what you've been using AI for and what tool you're using for, how is the best way that it has been helping you. I'll see you in the next video.